got a packed show for you tonight. I tell you, my sofa is going to be straining like the buttons on Donald Trump's banquet tux. Look at that! Wow! That's a gut. That cover runs under more pressure than Theresa May was to resign. President Donald Trump, he made his state visit to Britain this week. On his arrival at Buckingham Palace, the King's Troop Royal Horse Artillery fired off 81 shots. Oh, they all missed. But, worth a try, eh? Worth a try. It's a moving target. Trump arrived in his famous armour-plated car, the Beast. Now, the American president no longer travels in an open-top car, for obvious reasons, you know, in case Melania tries to escape. Trump, very excited to meet Her Majesty. Here they are. Like, is that a fist bump? I mean, she's 93. A royal banquet was given in Trump's honour. A lot of preparation went into it. Oh, so many things on the table. Menu cards, floral centrepiece, the NHS. I said the NHS. Yeah, here's Trump sitting down to dinner. Oh, look, someone's brought him the lame duck. Hey, let's get some guests on! Later, we have music from Grammy-nominated pop group Bastille. We like them, we do, don't we? We like them. But first, he's the BAFTA-winning star of comedy shows Not Going Out and Would I Lie to You, now making his film debut in Horrible Histories, the movie. Please welcome back Lee Mack. Lee Mack, everybody! Yes, there you are, you're in a movie. She's the multi-platinum selling pop star who's now turning her hands to acting in the Batman prequel Pennyworth. It's Paloma Faith, everybody! Oh, yay! Oh, so good to see you. Paloma Lee, there you are. This actor has starred as Moriarty in Sherlock, a baddie in Bond, and most recently, the hot priest in the smash hit Fleabag. Now he's appearing in the dystopian Black Mirror. Please welcome for the first time, Andrew Scott, everybody! And back with his first UK tour in 40 years, he's our nation's favourite actor, writer, and all-round brain box. It's always a pleasure to welcome the great Stephen Fry! Very good. I don't think I've ever seen you run before, so you look so keen to get out here.
You me.
Welcome, everybody. Lovely to see you. Welcome back, but first time.
Yes.
And what a time to be Andrew Scott, hot priest. Yeah. Now, have you all, so you've all seen Fleabag?
Yes.
Now, Lee, I know you're a big fan.
I love Fleabag, and I have not confessed this to my wife.
Have you really not?
I've genuinely not confessed it. She would kill me, but I feel like I should say it because he's here and it's appropriate. I did the ultimate sin.
Oh, OK.
I got ahead without telling my wife off the box set. And I was pretending then, when I was watching it, that I hadn't seen it. And I even went to... Because we absolutely loved that second series, but I was texting. She goes, why aren't you watching this? And I even said, oh, well, it's not as good, this series. Which wasn't true, but I had to say that's why I was texting. But actually, I'd already seen it.
Because, Paloma, now, you've met Andrew before.
Yes. In my dreams.
No, you really met him, though.
Yeah, we met, and as you know, I'm not shy of an awkward situation.
No, you direct.
Yeah, so I had to confess to Andrew that I had a bit of alone time with episode 5. The thing that really upsets me is, like, today is everyone else but me's got more of a chance with Andrew in reality.
But you've had your good time.
I've had my moment, and
yes.
You know what, Andrew? Thank you. on behalf of anybody who's got kids, been in a long-term relationship, Thank you from the deepest bottom of my heart.
Can I point out that when I watched it without my wife, that was just to get ahead of the series. That was why I was doing it.
What I want to know is, when Paloma said that to you, what was your face doing, Andrew?
Well, I'll tell you that
Phoebe
she told me on the red carpet of the BAFTAs. And you were like, hi, she goes... And I was like, oh, hello. So,
Phoebe was really excited. So obviously she wrote it.
Yes.
And she was like, wow, that's an achievement.
Yes, that got you there.
But I don't think I'm the only person. And there's a lot of people in the room looking at me like, oh, my God. But don't lie.
I just wanted known that the fact that I had my sofa steam cleaned 3 weeks ago was entirely coincidental, Andrew. Nothing to do with you. Nothing at all.
But weirdly, Stephen...
Can I just check, am I the only one that's not masturbating?
Weirdly, Stephen Fry, you could have been the hot priest. Because is this true? You seriously went to have a meeting about becoming a priest?
Yes, when I was a teenager, You know, I loved so much about the church. I loved the music, I loved the liturgy. Not a Catholic priest, an Anglican priest.
Of course, yes.
I lived in the country, beautiful architecture, wonderful music, everything about it. I just fancied the clothes. I knew I could deliver fantastic sermons.
Yeah.
So I was sent to see a bishop, the Bishop of Lynn, the suffragan Bishop of Lynn, who decided that I would make a wonderful priest if there weren't one small problem, and that is that I didn't believe in God. Everything else, so I failed at the last moment.
I love that it got that far,
Yeah,
that you got a meeting with a bishop,
yeah,
and no one had asked you about the Jesus thing.
Yeah, yes. That's true. Well, and I still do. I mean, I love church music, and I love the buildings. I love everything about it. I just can't quite take the whole story seriously. Well, I know I take it seriously, but I just don't.
Yes.
That final leap.
Yeah. There's probably quite a lot of vicars watching going, yeah, I hear you. Look at my house. Let's go. This is exciting news, everyone. Stephen Fry, you're on tour, and it's nearly 40 years since he did a tour. That's
It's
incredible.
true, yes, it is true. It's finally tapped up the page. Really good.
So you're going on the road with Mythos, a trilogy, Gods, Heroes, Men. So is this 3 separate shows?
It is 3 different evenings, yeah. Some people come to all 3 because they're in order. It's telling the stories of the Greek myths from the very beginning to the very end, because they do have a kind of timeline. And it's really... I discovered when I wrote a book called Mythos, which I think I appeared on this programme
Yes,
to
you
talk
did,
about.
yeah.
And when doing an event at the Apollo in Hammersmith to sell the next one, Heroes, it was a huge place, and I thought, this is a bit odd, because usually people come here to see rock and roll. I went there to see Kate Bush, for example, or they go to see Lee Mack or some great comic performing.
What do you mean, or some great comic?
No, some other great comic didn't like... Oh,
You've forgot the word
similar.
other. You've forgot the word other. It's quite important. In that
You know how much I love you. And... but this is telling stories. I feel there is this extraordinary thing that happens with a group of people when you feel as if you're sitting around a fire and someone says, I'll tell this story. And because these stories are so wonderful, it's a mixture of drama and comedy and everything else, but it's what our ancestors did. They sat round fires and they said, how did we get here? Why does that volcano happen? What's the fire coming out of it? Who is it? Who makes the seasons happen? And all cultures have done this, but the Greeks did it around the time, happily for us, when writing was invented and the alphabet came over. So it became the work of poets and writers to tell these stories, and they've come down to us all.
And it starts in August in Edinburgh. But in terms of being on stage, now, Lee, obviously, you've done lots of stand-up, and you've done those tours, but you have you just done one play in the West
done
End?
one play, yeah.
With Griff.
With Griff
Yes.
Rhys-Jones, called The Miser, in the West End, which... Oh, there I am, looking...
Yes. No, proper acting.
I mean, be honest, Pamola...
Pamola.
Let's be honest. I have to ask you a question, be honest. Would you freeze frame that at home and do a similar thing, or... Maybe if you wanted it to last longer.
But But you did get yourself match ready. You decided, right, I need to be fit.
Yeah, because it's hard, isn't it, being in a play? I didn't realise this, and it's two shows a day on some days, and I thought, I'm going to look after myself. So I stopped eating sugar for about 4 weeks before. And I was really strict about it. And then on the first couple of shows, I was really craving it, and I went to a health shop, and they had a bag of sweets that had no sugar in them. I thought, this is my dream come true.
I know what's coming.
You know what's coming, don't you? I didn't know what was coming. So I had one or two. If you haven't eaten sweets for 6 weeks, and like me, you're obsessed with them, I ate the lot. I ate 40 to 50 of these little sweets. Some of you know what's happening here, don't you? Yeah. So I go on stage, and I'm nipping off stage, and I'm on and off a lot, and what's that rumbling? Feeling a real rumble, you know. I won't go too graphic, but let's just say I went to the toilet and it went out a lot quicker than it came in. Well, at least it's out, right? But it started coming back again. So I look at the packet thinking, it must be this. And on the back it says, do not eat more than 1 or 2 of these at a time because they are a laxative. I've eaten 40 of these. I'm on and off a lot, right? So it's bad enough, the situation, but it's made worse by the fact that in the middle of the show, I had to turn round and show my bare backside to the audience. That was the gag. I turned round, the audience laughed, and there it is, right? And I'm thinking, I'm terrified. I'm terrified anyway, but at least with your costume on, if an accident happens, you're off, right? Imagine that front row. I mean, that's a hell of a heckle put down, isn't it? And I am terrified. I'm thinking, I can't do that. And I'm literally going every few minutes. As soon as I go off, I'm in the toilet, and this scene is about 5-10 minutes long. And I said to the costume woman, I had to tell her, I said, I'm really nervous about this because I've been going to the toilet a lot and I can't think I can hold it in. She said, don't worry, Lee. If worse comes to worse, I'll put a tampon up there. and I said, no. If worse comes to worse, I'll be putting the tampon up there. And it did get me thinking. I'm not even sure that would have worked. Because that would have just come out like a missile. Taking someone's eye out.
Try being in the audience then.
Never heckle Lee Mack. You wouldn't believe what he did.
Oh, dear. And, Andrew, obviously, you've done lots of plays, and you're a very, award-winning actor and stuff. Hamlet, etc.
I know, I saw it.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
And if you want to see you on stage, they can, very soon.
Yeah.
You're at the Old Vic.
I'm at the Old Vic. I'm doing a Noel Coward play called Present Laughter. Yeah, do you know it? I do. Yeah, it's a great old play.
He knows everything.
He does great.
I've never heard of it. I am the vice president of the Noel Coward Society.
Oh, God, no. Well, don't come.
No, of course I can't.
No one does that play.
Anything to say? Yeah, we're doing that. Yeah.
And that starts, I think, later this month, doesn't
Yeah, it's we preview on Monday week. Yeah.
OK, so soon.
Yeah.
Oh, very soon.
Very soon.
Good. But I read an interview where you say that no matter what you do try to find kind of the humour in it.
Oh, yeah.
But now, where were you? Was it in Guildford?
Yes.
Now, were you doing a comedy play? What play were you doing?
We were doing an Irish play, and it was a funny play, and it's just weird the way some people in the audience just get things in their head. And it was one of those evenings, when you're doing a play, where the audience were just quite jolly. They were just having a really good time. And we were at the Yvonne Arnaud Theatre in Guildford, and this man stood up and said, "This is not a comedy!" Like somebody standing up here. "This is a study in melancholia about rural Ireland, and it is not funny!" In the middle of the thing. Can you imagine? God. And it was supposed to be funny. And I, of course, had a gag immediately after that, and everybody was just terrified. Not to make any... And so we just continued. It was like just tumbleweed for the rest of the performance. And we were totally fascinated about who this man was. And then the next day, we were on tour there for about a week. We got a letter, the whole gang of us in the theatre, from this man who was a doctor to further apologise for the people of Guildford for laughing. I just think this man is totally insane. Yeah, but people are insane. During Hamlet, there was a guy who lifted up his laptop, not his phone, his laptop, started doing the emails, and you're just thinking...
Do you know that story about John Gielgud, who he was out rehearsing with someone and they put a pause in? He said, "Oh, no, you must never pause in the West End. Never pause." And they said, "Why not?" He said, "Oh, I paused once, and I thought it would be a wonderful silence. And it was filled by a voice in the back row saying, 'Oh, you beast, you've come all over my umbrella.'"
Right, moving on. Paloma Faith is not here as a pop star, no. As an actress. You're in the new Batman prequel, Pennyworth. I was telling you backstage, you're so good in this. Really, you're terrific. It's a big kind of Warner Brothers production, and it's the backstory. I mean, it's a very niche back. It's Alfred the butler.
Yeah.
Because in the latest, he has skills, so the idea is this kind of explains...
So it explains his backstory, and it's before Batman was born. So Alfred Pennyworth was ex-SAS. There's a bit of stuff about his post-traumatic, you know, experiences.
Yeah.
And it also introduces Bruce Wayne's parents, Thomas Wayne and Martha Kane. And because it's kind of a character that not many people have explored, there's a lot of room to invent things, and it's made by the same people that wrote Gotham. So Bruno Heller, who wrote Gotham, he also wrote Rome, and lots of other brilliant...
And you're the baddie in this.
I'm one of them, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't know, it's hard to tell because... well, you'll know, you're more experienced in this, but I've spent 6 months being her, and I feel a great sense of empathy for her. I don't feel like she's bad anymore, and I kind of love her a bit, and I can't tell the difference between me and her. Her motivations are very clear in her own mind, and I've played it that way, and so she can't understand why everyone's looking at each other all the time like... and I sometimes feel like that in my everyday life. Just like, I'm like, well, in my little weird world, like, you know, when people meet my mum, they go, oh, it makes sense. Like, in my weird world, I am normal, and everyone always tells me, like... And that's what she's kind of like. She's a bit misunderstood, and I very much... love her, although everyone else on set, including all the crew, were just terrified of me. Everyone was like, you're too good at this, it's scary, where's it coming from? Just...
Yes, I would say I'll tell you what, we'll watch a clip, in this scene, you've taken Alfred's girlfriend hostage. It's an action sequence. Oh, yeah. Good. You didn't do... Like, that wasn't you didn't do stunts, did you?
I did all my own stunts on this. We did 10 episodes, each one's an hour. And I did all of the stunts apart from that falling down the stairs. I found that a bit much.
Yes, I think... there were stone stairs.
It was backwards.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you couldn't do that.
But the lady who did it, I can't believe she exists. Like, I mean, she's just like, yeah, OK.
And the thing is, you're not new to acting. You have done, in your early career, you did quite a lot of acting.
Yeah, I was in a film with Stephen.
Oh, yes, we were.
For a second.
The Centrinians film.
Yeah.
That's right.
And again, you look so different. That's you. Yeah.
You were the goth, I remember.
Yeah.
Paloma's point about the character you play making a big difference is I was filming with Nicholas Lyndhurst, you know, who played Rodney in Only Fools and Horses, and we were in Harrogate. And we'd done a couple of nights, you know, we'd exhausted the hotel's menu, and so we went out in search of an Indian or an Italian meal or something. And this group of Harrogatians approached us, and they went up to Nick, and they punched him on the forearm. Said, hey, Rodney, you plonker, go on, give us your autograph, you footweight, go on. And he's very sort of serious and shy and very sweet guy, Nick, and he signed them. And then they turned to me and said, excuse me, Mr. Fry, could we have your autograph as well? And then we walked on, and Nick said, what was that about? Why do I get punched on the arm? It's Warner. And you get Mr. Fry. I said, well, it's because you play everybody's favourite younger brother. They treat you like a younger brother. Yeah. And I play bishops and generals and politicians, and so they treat me with the respect that I deserve. He said, right, that's it, I'm only going to play, from now on, I'm going to play generals, he said.
But you don't know what you're going to get, and even when it's people you know very well, like relatives, they can be surprising. Like Paloma, your granny, she was Spanish, your granny?
Yeah, she is Spanish.
She is Spanish? Oh, I see.
Yeah.
OK, so she's Spanish, and you thought she was quite prudish.
Yeah, well, I thought, because she's religious, she's Catholic, that she's quite prudish. And when I was about 17, I went to meet up with her, and she started to give me a talk about the birds and the bees. And she was like, darling, I need to talk to you about a few things. And I was like, OK. She goes, when a man loves a woman, they do something, they get physical, they kiss, and sometimes it leads together to make a babies, but you don't do that until you are married. And one day you will be married. Have you found anybody yet? Is there anybody in mind? And I was like, no. This went on for a long time. And she's like, it's only when you are married. I'm 17. Like, after about 20 minutes, I was really nervous, but I said, Grandma, I've got to tell you I'm not a virgin. And she was like, oh, darling, I'm so proud of you.
Now, Andrew, you are here tonight because you are part in another huge TV show, Black Mirror. Black Mirror, the latest 3 episodes are streaming on Netflix now. So your one is called Smithereens.
Yeah.
So now you can't tell us much about it, but you can tell us something about it.
It's such a tyranny. I'm actually quite relieved that it's out because, you know, the whole thing is shrouded in a huge amount of mystery. They don't tell you anything because there's 3 episodes and even on set, you know...
But they're individual episodes.
Individual episodes,
Yeah.
and there's, like, entirely different stories and completely different crews, and so I'd ask the producers, so, you know, I hear Miley Cyrus might be in one of these, which she is, I've discovered, and they just, like, don't tell you anything. And so, and then after it's over, they said, do not tell anybody. So you're like, well, can I tell my mom? And I did tell my mom. And last week, actually, I had to, you know, talk to people, journalists on the phone. And, I was talking to this guy from The Guardian or somewhere, and he was like, so, what can you tell me about... And I didn't see it. I just think that after Sherlock, I thought, because it was so plot-driven, are you dead? Is Sherlock dead? Is anybody... Am I dead? Oh, everybody's dead. And I just thought the best thing to do is just not see it, and then you can't give the game away. So I didn't watch it. And so this journalist was ringing me up, and he was like, so what can you tell me about the show? And I was like, it's quite Black Mirror-y. All right. He goes, have you seen this? And I was like, no. And he was like, and then I said, have you seen it? And he said, no. It was like such an awkward interview. And I was like, you're gonna watch Love Island? Or... And then at the end of it, he goes, so could you say with any degree of confidence that you're even in this? That's kind of like.
Am I?
Actually.
But that's quite Black Mirror if you're questioning whether you're
maybe
in it.
I'm not.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can tell you he is. I saw it last night. You're terrific in it. You're
Thank
so
you
good
so
in
much.
it. So essentially, you are... I'll tell you. You are... you're not an Uber driver, but you're something like an Uber driver.
Yeah, like an Uber driver, yeah.
And technology has kind of driven you to the edge.
Yeah, it's a sort of a thing about he's got this sort of personal history about why he hates you know, people just being on their screens all the time.
Can I ask you a question? Can kids watch it? Because
No.
they watched. My kids watched Bandersnatch. You know, the one where you
Oh,
can
yeah,
choose your own
sure.
journey.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's the first one that's in. And
What
they
age-
said,
what
this
age are
is
they?
brilliant. 6. I don't know. A lot older than 6. And loved it. And said, oh, I've got to watch the others. So immediately went to the first one with the Prime Minister and the pig.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bit awkward.
Yeah. Social services came around.
And the RSPCA.
So part of your losing your patience with
Yes.
technology is we won't explain why, but you take someone hostage.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the clip we have
Oh, right.
is as you in your cab being pursued by the police.
Okay.
Very good. And here's my question to you, Andrew Scott. Was that you driving?
No. So, it's so humiliating. Do you drive?
I do.
Yes,
yeah.
Can you not
Well, I
drive?
don't drive. And it is the most
Like you
humiliating...
looking for a friend.
It's so humiliating. It's one of the most humiliating things because when you don't drive, they get quite worried because it's all insurance. And when you're playing a driver,
It does seem like poor casting. I mean, you're very good in it.
You believe he can drive.
Yeah, you see that, and they come up to you and they sort of try to help you, and then they sort of have to assume that you're just completely ignorant. And they're like, "Do you know a steering wheel?" And you're like, "Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, I know a steering wheel. That's a radio." Blah blah blah. And then they put you on what can only be described as sort of like a massive skateboard, the whole car. And then they sort of drag you along, and you do this. Everybody's just like, you just don't look like, you know, cool.
Yeah.
You're not looking anyway cool.
Going vroom, vroom.
Yeah, vroom, vroom. And then you have to sort of, you know, act. So you have to can never sort of, you know, look down.
Yeah. Because now, in terms of, presumably, you love technology, so you must love Black Mirror and all the things
I
that it talks
do.
about.
I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
He's a genius, Charlie Brooker. And actually, the solution is not far around the corner, because when I'm in America, I have a Tesla, and it drives itself. So it has an autonomous mode. So it's wonderful when you have friends. You can scare the living daylights out of them by being on the freeway, and then they don't see you. You just pull the stalk back 3 times to go into auto drive, and then you just think, oh, we've got a book. and they go, what, to keep your eyes on the road? No, I can't be bothered. And I'll look round the back like that, and it drives itself.
Another one you can do as well, good trick, is if your passenger falls asleep, which I hate, because you've got to do the driving and there's no one to talk to you. I wait till they start waking up again, and I close my left eye, and I just do that. So I'm lucky, it's perfectly safe, but they absolutely... Wake up! How long was I gone for?
Actually, Lee, I heard you talking to Charlie Brooker, and you were saying how you don't like technology.
I'm the opposite, Stephen. Well, I'm not good at it. Everything goes wrong with me. Even the simple stuff like the millions of remotes you have to have. We had a babysitter once who came round, and I'm always paranoid that I want to look after them. I want to make sure they can watch everything. And it's not as simple as the old days when you went click. You've got to press this button, and then you've got to take this, and you've got to go to that menu, and then you've got to put that one down and press this. And I must have spent about 15 minutes explaining to this babysitter how to put the telly on, because I wanted her to enjoy the night. Yeah. And we went off, and she rang me 15 minutes later in the car, and she said, I said, oh, I bet it's the telly. It's the telly, I bet you. I said, is it the telly? She went, no, the telly's absolutely fine, but you didn't tell me the name of your children.
I like Paloma Faith, but this must have been before smartphones, where you found a way of trolling someone. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, yeah, it's kind of trolling. So when
I like it.
So I had a really horrible ex-boyfriend who was so nasty, and I got my first record deal, and at the beginning, you never know. Like, Andrew, you've expressed this stuff. You never know how long it's going to last, do you?
Absolutely.
So seize the day.
Yes.
Because you might, you eat as much as you can when they take you for dinner, etc. Yeah, so I got my record deal, and they said, so we've got 3 billboards for your album, and you can choose one of the locations. So I had this billboard put up at the end of this ex's street. Oh. Yeah. So that every day for months he had to, go there and be like, oh, I really meant that.
Well done, you. That's brilliant.
I mean, I hope he saw it.
He saw it. He definitely did. And if you didn't see it, friends pointed it out to us. Talking about smartphones and the internet, just to go back to the Hot Priest for a second. Twitter obviously went mad for the Hot Priest. And it was one scene, particularly the Neil scene. Well, there was a gasp over there. That lady gasp. So what was it about that scene that drove people so crazy?
I don't really know. I don't really...
Ask her.
I do.
Yeah, I think it's quite strange because it was just on Phoebe, that scene.
Yeah.
You know, the camera was just on her. You actually never see the priest in that scene. So I did think that there was a touch of the old... Oh, no. you know, it's definitely, you know, transgressive and everything.
Yes.
Yeah. I think just the priest thing does it for people. I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, a bit of confession and
Yeah, a bit of confession. Yeah,
That
it's
scene,
naughty.
you got it licked. That's all I can say.
But no, here are just, honestly, these are just a couple of tweets. These are mild, these tweets. It's been 7 hours and 15 days, and I'm still thinking about Hot Priest and Fleabag. Isn't it? I like this one. I was in the Catholic Church for a wedding today, and honestly, it was too soon. This woman went to a lot of trouble for this one. Look at this, she was so happy with herself. Saw a real-life hot priest today. They do exist, and look, it does actually look a bit like...
He looks like a vegan sub salad, I see.
I know, and also it's a bit weird to be wearing a leather jacket right in front of a vegan sandwich. And then this last woman, she really went for it. Phoebe Waller-Bridge appreciated it. Feedback to you, shitting hell. When that priest said kneel, my vagina exploded. The way a man has never quite been able to achieve. That's writing. That's a very good writing.
Yeah, it is.
Wow. It really is. And Lee, obviously writing things, you have to mine your own life. So with Not Gunning Out, because how many episodes of Not Gunning Out have you done now?
We've done 79.
Wow. That's amazing. Yeah. So, have you run out of life, or do...
Well, I mean, am I going to die?
That kind of thing, yeah.
I hope not, because I've not actually told anyone this, but I thought I'd tell Graham Norton's show. We've just been commissioned for 3 more series.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean... That's the conservatory sorted.
It might have been a dream, maybe it happened. But, so now I've got to think... We've got to mine more from our real lives, and we have a rule, me and the guy I write with, Danny, and we say... The problem is, if you mine from your life and you're watching it with your wife, and she says, you said that story, that personal thing about what we do in bed, you know. And so we have a rule now that we just blame the other person. So if I say, you won't believe this, but they also do that in bed. And then there was one weird one where I came up with an idea which has nothing to do with reality. It was just a bit of a bit in the story where I don't trust the dentist because I think she's flirting with the dentist. So I go and see the dentist even though I've never met him. Just pretend I'm a teacher because I want to know what he looks like. And my writing partner went, that is so odd. I said, what? He said, I've done that. My wife is going to think it's based on what I did.
Wow, so...
That's still stayed in. Tough.
Yeah.
Trust me, 79 episodes, you're desperate. Not losing that.
But now, that's Ellie, but you're here tonight for your film debut.
Yes.
He's in a movie. Film. Now, this is Horrible Histories, the movie, Rotten Romans, out on the 26th of July. And obviously, this is the film version of the kids' TV show.
Yeah.
So, who do you play?
I play Decimus, the centurion.
Of course.
And there I am, as my co-star in Not Going Out, Sally Bretton, said, finally a part that's right for the nose.
And Horrible History is one of those, like, kids love this show.
It's massive. I mean, it really is. I didn't realise how big it was until I got offered it and I mentioned it to my kids and they said, you've got to do this. We actually went last week to watch the live stage show of Horrible Histories at Hampton Court Palace.
Oh, very.
Sounds nice, doesn't it? Yeah. Turns out it was at the Tower of London and my wife had got the wrong venue.
Because they're not close.
So yeah, no, it's a bit... And it's a great... I mean, listen, the weird thing is, I've never been in a film, and I've not seen this film. I've been in it. Are you showing a clip?
We are in a minute.
I'm so excited because this will be the first time I've seen it. The first time I've seen myself, and let's be honest, possibly the last time I've seen myself in a film.
No, because the film will go on. Yeah. You'll have the DVD. You'll be grand.
Is it wrong to say, can we forget the chat and watch the whole film?
We've got the clip. We've got the clip. So this is very exciting.
Brilliant. Now, nobody talk. No popcorn or anything?
So this is you, as Decimus, leading his troops into Britain. Mac In a film! Be back! All right, it's time for music. This Grammy-nominated band burst onto the music scene with their chart-dominating track, Pompeii. Now they're back with a new album, here performing their new single, Joy. It's Bastille! Good job, guys. Come on over, dude. Come and say hi. Seriously, loved that. Well done. Thank you very much. Come in. Hello, Bastille. Lovely to see you. Hello, sir. Come in. Meet the gang. Lee, Paloma, Andrew, Stephen. There you go. Now, Some people are sitting in business, some are in economy. There we go. Lovely. Is there room for everybody? No, don't. Yeah, yeah, we're all in. We're all in. Grand.
I'd sit back there, but I can't because I'm in a film.
Hey, there's still time, man.
Now, here's the thing. That is off the new album, Doom Days, which is out on the 14th of June.
Yeah.
And
But
now,
shouldn't it
you
be
know,
the 14th of July?
It should be, yeah.
Because that's the storming of the Bastille days. French Bastille Day.
all right, I know.
Yeah.
Have you been looking at his
I'm an
life?
idiot. Close. But it is a clever idea. So it's a whole night out. So it's all time. So it's 12:15, 12:15 is that track. And it goes right through till the song you played, Joy. Because you do like a night out.
You know.
It's been known.
You know, everyone likes a bit of a night out.
Who got stuck in a room? Who was that? That's you.
Yeah.
Like you got properly stuck in a room.
Barricaded.
Oh, wait a minute. You barricaded yourself in.
It's a confusing time.
A version of himself barricaded himself in, and then an hour later, when lobby call happened and he had to be awake.
I wasn't, and so basically I kind of woke up and our tour manager was scrambling about at the bottom of the bed. What are you doing? He's like, get up. So I got up and the door was off the hinges and it was on the floor and they had to get security to, because apparently I'd gone in. He said, just don't lock the door. Whatever you do, just don't lock it. Just go in, close it, and I'll come and get you because we know what's going to happen. And I was like, okay. Walked up. All of the locks. on. And so they couldn't get in, and we were going to miss our flight, so they had to get security to take the door off the hinges of the hotel. But that door had it coming.
What were you doing in there?
Good night out.
Why did so much security?
Are you watching Fleabag?
So 5, settle in, big night.
And now you are doing festivals this summer. You're doing...
Reading and Leeds are playing Glastonbury in a few weeks, which
wow.
I'm so excited about.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we're playing on the Pyramid stage, which is pretty bizarre. And a good bizarre. Sorry,
Yeah.
bizarre.
Yeah, let's go with good.
No, it's amazing.
Yeah, let's just go with good.
We're so excited, and we're going to have the gospel choir with us as well, and a brass section, and we just want to put on, you know, if the album's about this night out, we want to try and bring a night out to 4 o'clock in the afternoon in the sun, hopefully. So that'll be a bit of a challenge, but yeah, no, I'm so excited. I guess none of us ever imagined we'd get to play on the Pyramid stage. Have you played it? All right.
That's why she's that far up the couch.
That and a big old TV show, but... Yeah.
Hey, listen, good luck with all your gigs over the summer and the album, and thank you so much for performing Joy. Bastille, everybody! Terrific, really good. Now, that is nearly it, but before we go, we do have time for a visit to the big red chair. Hello, who are you?
Hello, I'm Louise.
Just didn't have the emotional strength for Louise. We'll try again. Here we go. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Hello, hi.
Oh, hi.
Hi. What's your name, sir?
Piri.
Piri?
Yep, like the chicken.
Yeah. Every phone call he makes. Piri, like the chicken. Where are you from, Piri?
New Zealand, but I live in London now.
Oh, right. What do you do in London?
I work for a media organisation.
A media organisation. Oh, lovely. Piri. Okay. Piri, off you go with your story.
Okay, so my dad's obviously from New Zealand and he works in the film industry. At the end of each day that they film, they watch what are called rushes. So essentially what you film that day. Anyway, so one day when I was a teenager, I was working on a big film and he went to watch rushes, as he usually does. And then he was having trouble getting to work on his laptop. So he gets one of the producers to come over and help him. Anyway, they fill away with the laptop and then all this gay porn comes up. What on earth is going on? This is not mine. But then he looks at his colleague, then looks at the laptop and it's like, there's no way they're going to believe me if I deny it. So he grinned and bared it, and anyway, it was mine. And it also became my coming out story, and to this day, they think it's his.
I'm with you, Carl. No, apparently you're walking. You're walking, Barry. Barry like the chicken, walking. All right, that really is all we've got time for. If you'd like to have a go in the red chair yourself and tell your story, you can contact us via our website at this very address. Please say a huge thank you to all of my guests tonight. Bastille, everybody! Lee Mack! Paloma Faith! Andrew Scott! And Stephen Fry! Join me next week with rock star Sheryl Crow, actors Himesh Patel and Lily James, director Danny Boyle, acting greats for Ian McKellen, and the one and only Madonna. I'll see you then. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye!